Welcome back to BBC News. I'm your host, Madeline Spice.
And I'm Olive Oregano.
Bringing you today's breaking news. Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, passed away on April 9th, 2021. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, widely known for leaving the royal family after controversies surrounding his wife Meghan Markle, will be attending Prince Philip's funeral.
And however, Markle, who is in the late stages of her pregnancy, will not be attending due to doctor's orders.
Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer who was charged with manslaughter and second and third degree murder for the death of George Floyd, is on trial with a key witness being the medical examiner who performed the autopsy on Mr. Floyd.
Mr. Chauvin's defense claims Floyd's death was caused by drug abuse. However, medical experts claim that Floyd's breathing rate was normal and unaffected by the small amount of drugs found in his system.
In the wake of another series of mass shootings, President Biden has announced a plan to crack down on firearms assembled from kids.
Biden also acknowledged that more aggressive actions such as background checks or banning assault weapons altogether would have to go through Congress.
Lasu Free, a volcano on the main island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, erupted on April 9th.
The eruption caused 20,000 people to flee the surrounding area. As always, thank you for watching, and we remind our viewers to stay safe out there.
See you next time on BBC News.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, I have one dog.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if you have a favorite, but if you only have one, then cool.
I do. I have 3 cats and a fish tank.
Okay, can you tell a funny story about one or more of your pets?
Well, my fattest cat likes to bring animals into the house all the time that he hunts, and so my mom screams really loud every single time, and they're not scary animals. They're like lizards and sometimes birds, and she gets really scared of them.
Annika, do you have any pets?
I do. I have a dog and a cat.
Fun. Okay, is any one of them your favorite, or do you love them both equally?
Well, I love them both equally, but if I had to only have one, I'd choose a dog, just because he's always there for me, you know?
Okay, and if you could get any possible pet in the world, what kind of pet would you want to get and why?
Absolutely, I'd want a snake. They are so cool.
Probably a ferret. I think ferrets are pretty cool. I like their personalities too.
So Emma, do you have any pets?
I do. I actually have a lot of pets. I live on, I guess you could say, a small farm. I have 5 chickens. My sister is a leopard gecko. I used to have a bunch of fish, but now I have my one little baby fish. Her name's Ellen. And 2 dogs.
Okay, can you pick a favorite?
Oh, that's real tough. My dogs try to compete for my favoritism, but if I had to pick one, I'd say the leopard gecko is pretty cool to show off. But she's not mine, so I can say that without causing any jealous feelings between me.
The month of April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, as well as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And while the topics of sexual assault and child abuse don't often come up in day-to-day conversation, it doesn't mean that they're not real. The best way to be an ally to victims of these 2 issues is to acknowledge that their problems are real. We at the VPC would like to take this opportunity to make the resources that are out there for those struggling with child abuse and sexual assault more accessible. In the description of this video, you'll find links to resources that may be able to help.
My name's Lily, and I'm here today with Amy, and we're going to be doing an interview of Diamond to Color for Small Business Shoutouts.
So my name is Amy Elliott, and I've owned Dive Into Color Art Studio for 12 years.
What made you choose the name Diamond to Color? Does it mean anything special to you?
It actually does. So my 2 favorite things were doing artwork and colorful artwork and scuba diving. And I love the image of just diving into color. it was my two happy places.
It's awesome that you chose a name of two things that you love. So anyways, how long have you owned this business for?
So I've had the business for 12 years, and it's kind of amazing because over that time, when we first met, you were about 5. So that goes back almost over half the time of my business.
What do people do at Diamond to Color?
Great question. So our mainstay is the painting of pottery. We also do a lot of mosaic artwork, both for indoors and out. We do fused glass artwork, clay, both by hand building and on the wheel, and canvas. And we do classes and camps for all ages from age 7 up to adults. And about once a month we do a class for the under 5 crowd. This is sort of our mosaic corner, and we've got a whole cabinet and set of baking shelves full of stained glass, different types of tile, flower pots in different types of forms that can be used for mosaic art. Here we've got our pottery paints and underglazes for the people who are doing pottery and decorating their clay work. Over here we've got this more area where people can do their work, and I designed all my tables so everything moves around, so we can make long tables and tiny tables and make different kinds of workspaces for people. This area around here is all of our pottery, and it changes out with the season and what's trending, what's new, what's functional. So behind that door over there, which shall remain hidden, is our kiln room. So we are at 2201 Jefferson Street at the corner of H, and we share our parking lot with Buttercream Bakery. Your customer bill is going to include whatever project or projects you chose to do, and tax. And the prices vary according to the projects that you do, and we have projects that are very inexpensive and projects that are more pricey, that are way larger or more complex. So there's something for everybody.
Thank you for letting us do this interview.
Thank you, Lily.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, and I hope that our audience can come dive into Diamond to Color soon.
Hello and welcome back. Today we will be discussing whether or not teenagers should get involved in politics. Now personally, I'm not really sure where teenagers should stand. I can see the pros and cons of both situations. What do you guys think?
So I personally think that teenagers should care about politics to some extent, because the political state of this country is going to be in our hands, and it is also our entire future. I'm not saying you should be like hyper aware. Just me personally, I pay attention a little bit, just enough to know what's going on and know what the future could look like.
Well, I think they shouldn't get involved in politics since they're still children, and children can relax and not have to deal with these things until they're adults.
That is true. Most brains don't develop until the age of 21. So kids getting involved in politics now might not be so good for us.
I see, like most young people do, I pay attention to what's on social media and what's being put out there, and then I also do pay attention a little bit to the news in terms of politics. So I mean, I do think that, like I said, it is important to at least know what's going on a little bit.
But for social media, kids sometimes can't tell what's true and what's not true. I mean, there's a lot of fake news that goes around in social media.
I think there are certain things on social media that are, how do I say this, like a little more reliable than just some random kid putting opinion on the internet in terms of politics.
Yeah, kids should pay attention to politics, but they shouldn't only pay attention to politics.
Yeah.
I mean, with getting all of your news sources from mainstream media like Twitter or, even New York Times articles, it can put a lot of stress on the teenage mind, because we're not fully equipped to handle all that stuff.
I mean, I just think that there's, enough time for politics later in life. I mean, why do we have to start so early? A lot of politics is really upsetting and it might, affect the kids.